This is Business Chess 101.
Certain people are getting a lot richer because of artificial intelligence.
Is this the most audacious IPO in the history of Wall Street?
He's framing it as an AI safety crusade. Does it blow up the entire case?
Or is this the most audacious con?
If the stock is moving that much, somebody is making money.
Give me that money. I would still like that money.
I'm going to give you some names. The biggest winner is going to be
In 2015, Elon Musk co-founded a non-profit AI lab called OpenAI. He donated roughly how much? $38 million and left the board in 2018. And is now in a federal courtroom in Oakland trying to take $130 billion from it. The company he wants that money from is currently valued at, guess how much again? $852 billion. And is planning one of the biggest stock market listings in the history of stock market listings. Today, I'm joined by Wajeeh Khan, Invezz's stock market analyst, to figure out what this trial means for the IPO, what it means for the stocks that are exposed to it, and whether a company that's losing $14 billion a year even deserves a $1 trillion valuation. My name is Harsh, and this is Zero Sum. Wajeeh, welcome to Zero Sum. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Harsh. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I am doing fine. This is Zero Sum's first podcast, so yeah. I'm not really sure how Elon Musk is doing, or maybe even Sam Altman. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think both parties are going to be pretty stressed about this whole lawsuit drama that we've been having over the past couple of days. This is something that the whole world is following. So yeah, pretty stressful times.
Most people would call this a great trade on Elon Musk's front because he invested $38 million in a nonprofit, left the board, went off, built a rival AI company, and is now in court demanding $134 billion. That, to anybody who knows basic math, would be a return on investment of 350,000%. Musk's argument is essentially, I helped find a charity, and Altman turned it into a for-profit company worth $1 trillion. And that's fraud. The bombshell, in fact, this week is that Musk admitted under oath that his own AI company, XAI, used OpenAI to train Grok. So is this a genuine legal case, or is this a man who just missed the bus and is now trying to set the bus on fire?
So I think, Harsh, if you first of all take a look at the headline number, the $130 billion lawsuit, I think it sort of makes you think that this is entirely about the whole, AI safety crusade, the kind of framing that that essentially Musk is trying to put forward. But on the other hand, I think if you dig into the filings and if you dig into the timing of this lawsuit, I think it's sort of hard to argue against the narrative that this also has something to do with the competitive pressure. Because Musk is making this argument that OpenAI essentially abandoned its original non-profit mission and it became a closed commercial partner of Microsoft, right? And yet, on the other hand, he's building his own rival model within a SpaceX called the XAI, right?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Absolutely. So he's essentially competing for the same talent, and he has actually been very vocal about wanting to catch up to OpenAI's lead. So he's demanding that this for-profit restructuring unbounce. He's asking for Altman and Brockman to be removed. He's asking for the Microsoft licensing agreement to be stripped, right? Mm-hmm. So all of this he's framing as an AI safety crusade. But on the...
2 days before the trial even started, Musk sent a message to OpenAI co-founder Greg Brockman, gauging interest in a settlement. Why did he do that? Because from what I know, Brockman responded by suggesting both sides, drop their claims. And Musk's reply was that by the end of this week, you and Sam will be the most hated men in America. If you insist, so be it. Altman, for his part, in fact, wrote on X later in February, I think, really excited to get Elon under oath. Christmas is April, blah, 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 blah. These two are the most powerful people in the world of tech, and they're fighting like they're in 6th grade or something. Fighting over someone's lunch. What is going on here? Who does the market want to win?
Right. So think, Harsh, from the market's point of view, I would say it would actually be OpenAI that it wants to win, and the reason is quite simple. I think, OpenAI, or for the familiarity purpose, if I call it ChatGPT, it's the poster child of the whole AI
It's
demand narrative, like the infinite AI demand
I
narrative.
think everyone's parents probably know AI as ChatGPT, just ChatGPT.
Exactly,
It's become the new
exactly.
Google, right? I mean, like we say, just Google it. Now we are saying just ChatGPT it.
ChatGPT,
Depressing. Yeah.
absolutely. So this is essentially the poster child of the whole infinite AI demand narrative. So if OpenAI ends up losing to Elon Musk, I think the repercussions of this ruling is going to hit the entire AI sector. It's going to hit GPUs, it's going to hit data centers, it's going to hit the speculative names, and I don't really think the market is ready for it because, I mean, let's face it, a lot of people are getting a lot richer because of artificial intelligence.
Not me.
You and I should probably have a personal conversation. I'm going to give you some names.
Yeah, will probably use AI to edit this video. So yeah, maybe that would be helpful. But yeah, I don't
So
know.
yeah, I think all in all, the market is not ready for the AI narrative to take a hit because it's actually making a lot of investors a lot of money, right? So I mean, it's not every day that one single narrative gets to move a stock like 100%, 150% within a matter of months. And if the stock is moving that much, somebody is making money. I mean, it's probably not you, it's probably not me, but somebody
Yeah.
is. So I think from the market's point of view, since Musk's victory essentially means a hit to the AI sector, I think their vote is going to be with OpenAI and Altman.
So you're saying let's all cheer for Sam Altman, right?
I am. If Elon Musk wins this lawsuit, it's going to be Musk's victory, right? But if Sam Altman
Yeah.
wins, it's going to be a victory for the entire artificial intelligence sector. And I want the artificial intelligence narrative to stay alive. I'm invested in artificial intelligence. I'm very bullish in artificial intelligence, and I really want to make money out of it.
Pretty much entire Wall Street, right?
Absolutely. And so that it is the reason why think market is going to root for Sam Altman because they want to continue making money out of AI. And Elon Musk is probably going to be kind of a blockade if he ends up winning this legal drama.
Uh, Sounds like you have a plan, but yeah, as far as I know, I just want some of these rich people to lose some money. So yeah, let's see how the story pans out, and we'll be here to witness. We'll be here to do another podcast on it because yeah, that's what we do. Now, that's what we do now. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I mean, fun fact also. I mean, in the middle of all of this, I think something that broke the internet last week or somewhere. I mean, Musk admitted under oath and on the stand in the middle of suing OpenAI for commercializing AI that his own AI company called XAI, which is, yeah, don't get me started on the name. But yeah, I mean, XAI used OpenAI to train models for Grok, which has become really famous across the world for creating, lewd images of all the things. And his defense was that it's standard practice to use other AIs to validate your own AI. To me, that sounds like you just, are suing McDonald's for selling burgers after having eaten a Big Mac at the courthouse steps. And yeah, I mean, how badly does this entire thing hurt him? And I mean, does it even matter at this point for Elon Musk, or is he just being, an angry, slightly old man?
Absolutely, Harsh. I did think I absolutely get your point. It's kind of a pretty awkward moment for Musk. And on the surface, I do believe that it sort of undercuts the entire spirit of the lawsuit because he's essentially accusing OpenAI of becoming too commercial, right? And yet, if you think about it, the only reason that he was able to use OpenAI tools to train Grok was this, that OpenAI became too commercial. But on the other hand, does it blow up the entire case? I don't think so. Because this whole lawsuit was never about Musk using OpenAI tools. It was entirely about the violation of the original non-profit mission. It was about the violation of the founding agreement, right? So these are two separate issues. The argument does weaken the optics as XI
Yeah,
is going to do
fair
better,
enough.
and that's going to make him a lot of money. So I think the point here is that Musk is trying too hard to keep that moral high ground. And yet there is,
At the
as you
same time,
said,
kill a competitor.
absolutely, absolutely. So this is the
Yeah.
entire angle here. And
This is business chess 101. Yeah.
and now that he has admitted that XSAI has been using OpenAI tools to train Grok, think that moral high ground it's kind of evaporating more quickly than he thought he would.
Yeah. I mean, you genuinely can't write this stuff. I mean, something that really caught my attention the other day was when Musk said partly, some people in the courtroom were like, oh my God. And the irony even runs deeper. OpenAI had previously accused Chinese AI company DeepSeek. If people don't remember, DeepSeek became a
Yep.
really big thing just a few months ago. And now nobody talks about it somehow. I don't know. Of doing the exact same thing, distilling its models to build a competitor on the cheap. Musk spent months calling that an outrage and then got caught doing it himself, I mean, in federal court, while suing a company he was distilling. Now, you're just blown away by all of this, right? It seems like, an HBO Max, I mean, they're not paying us any money, but something like that, a movie genuinely, or a really, probably a badly written script. I mean, is what I'm trying to understand here is that, is this all for show? Because if they wanted to settle the case out of the court and they tried doing it and they have still ended up in court, I mean, would they have just settled just like that? Or because if it was about morality, if it was about, something being a charity and now not being a charity, why did he want to settle outside the court in the first place? I mean, you should bring out the entire story in front of the people, right? You should take it to a judge, you should take it to a courtroom, you should make it all public, and the whole world should know what is going on. So yeah, I mean, do you think they were going to settle this case outside regardless, or what could have been the legal trajectory otherwise?
Honestly, I would say, Harsh, the only reason this lawsuit was unable to be settled outside the courtroom was probably an ego issue. Other than that, even now that they are already in the court, I would still say that nobody is expecting a dramatic courtroom victory. I mean, this is a lawsuit that is still headed towards an eventual settlement, and I'll tell you why. Look, Musk is making the argument that OpenAI has drifted away from its original mission of being a non-profit company. It has violated the founding agreement. It has shifted towards commercialization via partnership with Microsoft. And yet, if you think about it, these are all messy arguments. These are all interpretive issues. I mean, they're not kind of clean and kind of, the sort of the binary questions that courts often love, right? And on the other hand, if you think about the OpenAI side of things, it would never want discovery dragging its internal model development process into the public record. So I still believe that both
Yeah.
parties have a significant amount of incentive to just sort of quietly settle this and let it go
Yeah, yeah.
instead of letting it drag. So I do believe this lawsuit is still headed towards an eventual settlement.
Fair enough, because there is a big IPO coming, and as you have insisted, that a lot of people in the AI world will be unhappy if that does not go through, and a lot of people might be about to make a lot of money from that. So let's get into the IPO mechanics now. OpenAI has recently closed the largest funding round in history, like $110 billion, and it's targeting, wait for it, a valuation of $1 trillion at listed. I'll just repeat the number: $1 trillion. That these numbers are surreal. I mean, I just can't understand where these things come from. Anyway, and despite all of this, it's currently losing how much? $14 billion a year, and is unlikely to be profitable until 2030. And that is if everything goes to plan. What if, something goes wrong? What if AI is a bust? What if the bubble bursts? What if something happens? And the CEO, Sam Altman, holds how much equity? Zero. Genuinely zero. It's almost like his plan is, let's see how this goes and then I'll make my money. What I'm asking you is this the most audacious IPO in the history of Wall Street? Or is this the most audacious con?
Right. So I think, Harsh, irrespective of me being an AI bull, I would absolutely agree with you that the numbers sound crazy on the surface. I mean, a company losing $14 billion a year, being worth $852 billion, and yet asking for $1 trillion valuation via the IPO. But on the other hand, I would actually argue that over the past couple of years, I think we have established that valuation math doesn't work as it does for conventional technology companies when it comes to artificial intelligence. I mean, the AI valuation math is sort of different. It's a bet essentially on owning a platform everybody would build on top of. So in a way, you can think of OpenAI as being valued like a future monopoly on intelligence itself, right? So as an investor,
Yeah.
if I'm putting my money into OpenAI, I would say, like, if OpenAI ends up controlling the leading frontier model, I mean, we're essentially talking about models that everything is going to build on top of. We're talking robotics, we're talking customer service, we're talking productivity tools, we're talking search, we're talking coding, and pretty much everything. So when you have that sort of a narrative, I think the revenue potential essentially it becomes unlimited. So that's the
I
bet you're
mean,
making on OpenAI.
can you also explain the circular financing angle in all of this, which is going on? Because as you were saying, the valuation is just a bit staggering, right? I mean, and from what I know, Amazon, which is another huge company, it's another huge big tech company owned by another strange man who doesn't know what to do with his money. So he keeps, having absolutely random functions and hangs out with Donald Trump. I mean, they have put in what, $50 billion? And OpenAI has committed to spend $100 billion on Amazon Web Services in the next 8 years. It's like, I'm giving you money and then you give it back to me in some other way after a few days. Let's just chill. Let's all be rich. Let's keep the money within us. Nvidia has invested 30 billion and OpenAI has openly admitted that they will, I'm sorry, not admitted, they're committed to buying 5 gigawatts of Nvidia's compute. SoftBank has invested 30 billion under using a bridge loan of up to 40 billion from JP Morgan. It's like these billions are just going from one place to another, but they're staying in the system. So does all this circular financing somehow lead to this absolutely maddening, valuation of the company? And
Right. So
is there something fishy about this? Because I kind of want to understand from you what is actually going on here.
Right. So let me say it outright first. That's not illegal. It's absolutely not
Yeah,
illegal.
that's not illegal. A lot of good things are not illegal. The law is created by a lot of these rich people. But yeah, fine, fair enough.
Yeah. So nonetheless, I think you're making a fair point. This circular financing, Pete, is actually the part of this whole argument that public markets are going to pretty much obsess over. Because as you said, it kind of breaks the narrative. In a normal IPO, you have a company that is being invested by investors that is essentially, getting the money from the investors. But in the case of OpenAI, what's different is that investors are funding the company, and then company immediately sends that money back to those same investors through cloud contracts and compute purchases and whatnot, right? So that's pretty much the gist of circular financing. Still, I would say whether or not public markets will be able to stomach that, it actually kind of depends on whether OpenAI succeeds in proving that the growth curve is undeniable and the governance story is absolutely airtight. Now, this, I believe, is the other side of the story because first I took the bullish stance on OpenAI, but this is a bearish stance on OpenAI because I believe OpenAI at the moment doesn't have neither of those locked in. It doesn't have the growth curve. It is unable to prove that the growth curve is undeniable. And the governance story, I don't think it's airtight, so to speak. So, yeah, I understand why people continue to compare it with things like Amazon or Tesla in their like early loss-making years. But on the other hand, I also believe this analogy can only go so far. I mean, Amazon was losing money while building a logistics empire with clear unit economics. I mean, Tesla was losing money while scaling a physical product with visible demand. But OpenAI, at the moment, it's losing money at a much, much larger absolute scale. And yet it has a cost structure that's tied to compute prices that they don't even control, right? And the governance model, I
Yeah.
would say, it's evolving in real time, so to speak. So,
There are many stocks exposed. Most people think that OpenAI is a private company with no market exposure at all, because that's what we are saying, right? It has not had its IPO, it's not listed, it's a private company. So we are like, oh, great. Even if it's losing money, what's the big deal? But if you think about it, market knows Microsoft. Microsoft is a very important stock. And that is a named defendant in this trial. Its entire AI strategy runs through a 13 billion bet on OpenAI. Nvidia has put all the crazy numbers that we just spoke about. SoftBank is the single largest investor and has used borrowed money to get there. This trial is going to bleed into these other stocks, which are very big, very strong. And at a point like this, how does an investor think about, even though, as you said, OpenAI is not listed, but the investor has put money in Microsoft, they have put money in Nvidia. If the case is to go south, what does an investor do? Should I hold Microsoft? Should I sell Nvidia? Should I don't know, just sit back and enjoy the drama? What should I do while I become poor? So yeah, what should an investor do here?
I think Anthropic is going to be the wild card in this entire story between OpenAI and Elon Musk. I'm not calling it a winner because you can create both angles for Anthropic. If OpenAI wins the lawsuit, it goes to the market before Anthropic, and so it basically attracts the initial demand for the whole AI narrative, right? But on the other hand, even if it doesn't go first, which would essentially mean that it lost the case against Elon Musk, I think the entire sentiment for the AI sector that is going to take a significant hit, right?
Well, let's hope whatever the story is, the AI market survives and AI does well. Because if it does
Absolutely.
not, then I think the entire Wall Street might come crashing down, and we all might just be like, maybe it would have been better if Matrix was a real thing. Who
Yeah.
knows? But yeah, I think this was brilliant. Thank you so much for all your understanding. But now we have one more thing to do. What is your winner, loser, and wild card? Go for it.
Right. So Harsh, as we have I think discussed, if OpenAI gets a smooth path to a $1 trillion IPO, think the biggest winner is going to be Microsoft. I mean, it already has the economic upside without taking the governance heat, and an IPO, I believe it crystallizes the value of that stake and validates its whole AI operating system strategy across Azure, Copilot, Enterprise, and whatnot. So that is going to be my winner. On the other hand, if OpenAI IPO gets delayed, it gets downsized or restructured or whatever, I think a prominent name that is going to take a hit is going to be an NVIDIA. Because as I said,
That will scare a lot
OpenAI
of
is
people, by the way.
exactly. So
Yeah.
NVIDIA, it's going to be NVIDIA and it's going to drag the entire market with it. So why I believe
God.
NVIDIA is going to take a hit, it's not because OpenAI, it's not getting business from OpenAI. It's basically because of the hit to the entire AI sector. OpenAI, as we discussed, is the poster child of the infinite AI demand. So if its IPO gets delayed and investors realize that it's failing to translate that sort of a AI hype into a public listing, we're going to get a hit on GPUs, we're going to get a hit on data centers, we're going to get a hit on speculative AI software names, and as we discussed, the wild card is going to be the Anthropic for the reasons that we have already discussed.
Fair enough. That was absolutely brilliant. I hope the listeners keep in mind winner, loser, and wildcard. And the OpenAI versus Sam Altman versus what's his name? I should not forget his name. Elon Musk. I didn't forget his name. The saga will continue, and we will keep tracking it. We'll keep bothering Wajeeh with questions. I hope, Wajeeh, you keep an eye on the courtroom. And essentially, thank you so much for all of this. Thank you so much for being a part of our first ever Invezz Zero Sum. We have tried to do this first podcast, and we would love to be bringing it to you every week. And hopefully, we might even increase the frequency of this. So, essentially, thank you so much. My name is Harsh, and goodbye for now, and hope to see you very soon. Take care.